Welcome to the deep dive. We're diving headfirst into the world of Irish tax reliefs today, kind of like your personal roadmap to navigating these, well, potentially lucrative schemes.
Yeah, think of it like a toolbox. You've got all these tools at your disposal, right?
So,
But knowing which one to use and at the right time, that's the key. That's where the magic happens.
right, makes total sense. And we're covering a whole bunch of them, from business relief to the small benefit scheme,
Right.
really breaking it down so you can, actually use this information.
Exactly.
So to kick things off, let's talk about, I guess, securing your legacy, planning for the future. Business relief, retirement relief, they sound pretty similar, but I'm guessing those little differences are where the real story is.
You got it. Okay, so picture this. You built this amazing business, right? You've poured your heart and soul into it, and now you want to pass it on, but the tax man wants a piece. Well, that's where business relief steps in. We're talking potentially slashing that tax burden by a whopping 90%. Can you believe that?
90%. Okay, that's a serious safety net. There's got to be a catch, though, right? It can't be that easy.
You're right. There are a few hoops to jump through. Ownership is huge. We're talking 5 years if it's a gift, 2 years if it's an inheritance. And the person getting it, they can't just turn around and sell it immediately. They need to hold on to it for at least 6 years.
So timing is everything. Got it. Now, what about retirement relief? Where does that fit into the picture?
So retirement relief, that's all about minimizing your capital gains tax when you're ready to, cash in, sell those business assets, enjoy the fruits of your labor. But there's a catch. You got to be at least 55 years old.
Sounds like the perfect retirement plan.
It can be. It really can. But, and this is where it gets interesting, the relief you actually get can change depending on who you sell to. Selling within the family, that might be more favorable than selling to, say, someone outside the family.
Oh, so family ties really do pay off. Anything else to keep in mind?
Oh, definitely. Age limits, valuation thresholds, those are key. Like if your business is worth more than a certain amount, you might not get the full relief. Timing that sale, crucial.
It's like a game of chess. Got to plan those moves out carefully.
Exactly. And speaking of strategic moves, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about entrepreneurs.
Ah, yes. The risk takers, the innovators. What does the Irish tax system have in store for them?
Imagine this. You've poured your blood, sweat, and tears into building your business, and now it's time to sell. Well, with entrepreneurs relief, you could be looking at a significantly reduced capital gains tax rate of 10% on that first $1 million in profit compared to that hefty 33% standard rate.
Wow, that's huge. That difference could mean serious savings.
You bet. But here's the thing. You need to have owned the business for at least 3 out of the 5 years before you sell it. This isn't about a quick flip. This rewards those with long-term vision.
So, once again, it all comes back to planning.
Absolutely.
Now, what about those brave souls who were unemployed and decided to take that leap into the world of entrepreneurship? Was there any support for them?
There was the start your own business relief. Unfortunately, it's not around anymore, but it's worth knowing about because who knows, they might bring something similar back. But basically, this relief, it was a game changer for those just starting out, giving them a break from income tax on their profits for the first 2 years of trading.
Wow. That's got to be a huge weight off your shoulders when you're just finding your feet. Let's hope they bring something like that back.
Right.
Now, let's get practical for a moment. What about managing the costs of assets? Capital allowances, that's where they come in,
Oh
right?
yeah, they're essential, really. So instead of getting slammed with the full cost of, say, a pricey piece of equipment all at once, capital allowances let you deduct a chunk of that cost each year from your taxable profits. And it's not just for machinery. We're talking vehicles, energy-efficient stuff, even buildings.
So it's like spreading the cost of that shiny new toy over time, right? Give me an example. Let's say I invest 10,000 euro in, I don't know, a top-of-the-line 3D printer. What happens then?
Okay, so with the standard wear and tear allowance, you'd usually deduct 12.5% of that asset's cost each year for 8 years. So in your case, that's a cool $12,250 deduction annually.
Not bad, not bad. Adds up over time.
Tell me about it. And over those 8 years, boom, you've effectively written off the whole cost of that 3D printer, all while keeping your tax man happy.
Now, that's what I call strategic spending. Okay, before we move on to luring in all that global talent, there's one more strategy I'm a bit curious about. Employing your kids, can that actually help with those ever-increasing university fees?
Ah, yeah, that's a popular one. And the answer is yes. If you do it right, of course. Got to emphasize, everything needs to be legit. We're talking legal contracts, fair wages, the whole shebang, no funny business.
Of course, compliance is key.
Absolutely. But let's say, hypothetically, a family owns a business, right? Their daughter, Sarah, she's about to head off to university. They could employ her part-time or maybe during the summers, give her some income to help with those expenses.
And I'm guessing the family might be able to take advantage of certain tax reliefs because they're employing her, right?
Bingo! Everyone wins. Sarah gets work experience, some financial help, and the family might reduce their tax bill.
It's all about being strategic. I love it. This is why we do these deep dives, uncover those hidden gems.
And believe me, there are plenty more to find. We've only just scratched the surface. Speaking of hidden gems, let's talk about attracting those brilliant minds from across the globe.
Right. Got to bring in the best of the best.
Exactly. And that's where SARP swoops in, the Special Assignee Relief Program. It's kind of like,
SARP, yeah, feels almost secretive, like a government operation or something.
it kind of is in a good way, though. It's Ireland's way of saying, hey, we want you here. Picture this. You're a hotshot in your field, offered an amazing job here, and with SARP, you could be looking at 30% of your income, anything over 75,000 euro, tax-free, for up to 5 years.
Okay, that's a pretty sweet deal. What's the catch?
No catch, just perks. Seriously, they also help out with school fees, even some travel expenses back home. It's all about making Ireland feel like home.
Talk about rolling out the red carpet. Definitely a win-win for everyone. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Talk about something crucial for, well, any kind of progress, really, research and development.
Huh.
We've got this R&D tax credit, which honestly doesn't sound super thrilling at first glance, but something tells me there's more to it.
You'd be right to be skeptical of boring-sounding tax credits, but this one's a game changer. It's all about pushing those boundaries, and they do that by offering a 25% tax credit on top of the usual 12.5% deduction for all those R&D expenses.
Hold on, so we're talking a total of 37.5% back in your pocket just for, well, innovating.
You got it. Music to any company's ears, right?
Makes you wonder why everyone isn't out there inventing something new every day. Okay, let's talk about those businesses that really keep things running, the SMEs. Employment and Investment Incentive Scheme. EIS, bit of a mouthful, but how does it actually help them?
The EIS, it's all about fueling growth, and it does that by making it really attractive for investors to put their money into those Irish SMEs. We're talking a whopping 40% income tax relief for those who take the plunge.
40%. Okay, now you've got my attention. That's a win-win for sure.
Exactly. It's all about stimulating the economy, giving those businesses the boost they need to thrive.
Love it. Speaking of growth, let's talk about something a bit more, well, green. Forestry Grants. What's the deal with those?
Trees, my friend, trees. Ireland's serious about its forests, and these grants are all about supporting those who are planting, managing, and looking after them.
So we talking big-time forestry operations here? Or can anyone with a bit of land get involved?
That's the beauty of it. Big or small, there's probably a grant for you. Planting those native trees, managing the land, even harvesting sustainably, it all adds up to a healthier, greener Ireland.
Now that's an investment I can get behind. All right, last but not least, got to talk about the small benefit scheme. Admittedly, the name doesn't exactly scream exciting tax break, but I've learned to never judge a book by its cover.
Don't let the name fool you. This one's all about those little gestures that go a long way. Employers can give their employees up to 1,000 euro tax-free each year. Think gift vouchers, those kinds of things.
Ah, so instead of a cash bonus that gets taxed, you get a voucher, spend it how you like. Everyone's happy.
Precisely. It's a win-win, plain and simple.
A 1,000 euro tax-free. Now that's a good day at the office. It's great to see how this system is designed to benefit everyone.
It really is. It's about finding that balance, right? Encouraging businesses to grow, to invest, but also making sure individuals and families aren't left behind.
Absolutely. Well, we've covered a ton today, haven't we? Let's see. We started off with business relief and retirement relief, those essential tools for, well, making sure your legacy is secure and you can actually enjoy the fruits of your labor when the time comes.
And let's not forget about those entrepreneurs, those go-getters. We talked about how entrepreneurs relief, and though it's gone now, the start your own business relief, they were real game changers for those brave enough to, strike out on their own.
We did. And then we got down to the nitty-gritty of running a business with those capital allowances. A pretty smart way to manage those big expenses that, let's face it, can really put a dent in your profits.
Can't forget about SARP either. Talk about a power move, attracting top talent from all over the world, really putting Ireland on the map.
It's brilliant. And remember that R&D tax credit. Investing in the future, pushing boundaries, and getting rewarded for it. What's not to love?
And of course, the EIS, supporting those SMEs, the backbone of the Irish economy, making sure they have the resources to innovate and grow.
Oh, and those forestry grants. Investing in a greener future, it's not just good for the planet, it's good for business too.
Absolutely. And last but not least, the small benefit scheme, proving that those small gestures, they really can make a big difference.
They really can. Well, there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour through the exciting world of Irish tax reliefs.
A lot to take in.
It is. It is. But that's the thing about knowledge, right? It's power. The more you know, the better equipped you are to make those smart decisions, those strategic moves that can really pay off in the long run.
Couldn't agree more. And the thing is, this whole tax landscape, it's constantly evolving. New reliefs pop up, old ones disappear, so staying informed, that's key. Check out the Irish Revenue website, chat with a tax advisor, stay in the loop.
Sound advice. This deep dive was just the beginning, folks. There's a whole world of information out there, so keep exploring, keep asking those questions, and who knows, you might just uncover those hidden gems that can make all the difference. Until next time.